And it says, thou shalt not take no gift. Bear with me just a minute. And I will not justify the wicked. So the wicked are not going to be justified. So yeah, of course, if you're wicked, it's going to show in no way is Yahawashi going to defend you. Okay? If you're righteous, if you're in Yahawashi, then yes, you're going to be justified. And thou shalt take no gift. We don't take gifts here. I don't take no gifts. Okay, well, you can come and give a brother a bottle of water, but I don't take gifts according to twisting the words. Okay? Or bribes. For the gift blindeth the wise. That's why men can't speak these words. And perverteth the words of the righteous. That's why men can't really speak these words. Why? Because they're being compromised by Esau and the wicked. Okay, so now we're going to go to Elijah, 1 Kings chapter 18. 1 Kings chapter 18. Give me just a minute. 1 Kings chapter 18, baby, just a minute. And it says, and it came to pass, you see there's many here, and you know what, I'll usually go from precept to precept, but sometimes it's good to just read the paragraphs. Okay, let's go to 1 Kings 18th chapter. And it came to pass after many days that the word of the Lord Yahawashi came to Elijah. And you know Elijah was a mighty man. Okay. In the 3rd year, saying, go show thyself unto Ahab, and I will send rain upon the earth. Okay. And Elijah went to show himself unto Ahab. And there was a sore famine. Okay. In Samaria. Okay. So sore famine was scarcity of food. And Ahab called Obadiah, which was the governor of his house. Okay, so that also shows where the governors of house, other Israelites, and you also had servants. Nothing's wrong with you having another Israelite as a servant. Okay. Now Obadiah feared the Lord Yahawashi greatly. Okay. For it was so when Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord. So you had what? The prophets of Baal that were moved by the spirit of what? Jezebel. And Jezebel is a controlling spirit. There's a spirit that's attached to Jezebel. It's a controlling spirit. It's a seductive spirit. Right? And it's a murderous spirit. The spirit of Jezebel was to what? To murder the prophets. So you got them same spirits in the truth today. Okay? And it says, so with Jezebel cut off the prophets of the Lord, that Obadiah took 100 prophets. 100. That's many. And hid them by 50 in a cave. So there became a time when the prophets, they had to be hidden away. 100 prophets hidden in caves. So this was written for our learning. The same thing applies today. And fed them with bread and water. They were looked after. And Ahab said unto Obadiah, go into the land unto all the fountains of water and all the brooks. Peradventure, we may find grass to save the horses. So that shows you they also had what? Cattle as well. Okay. And mules alive. And we lose not all the beasts. So they divided the land between them to pass through it. Ahab went one way by himself, and Obadiah went another way by himself. And as Obadiah was in the way, behold, Elijah, okay, met him. And he knew him and fell on his face and said, art thou that my Lord Elijah? And Elijah was, whew, when you read about Elijah, very, 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 very feared man, very feared. Okay. And he answered him, I am. Go tell thy Lord, behold, Elijah is here. And he said, what have I sinned? That thou wouldest deliver thy servant into the hand of Ahab to slay me. So he thought he was being delivered in the hand of Ahab to be slain by Elijah. And as the Lord power liveth, there is no nation or kingdom whither my Lord have not sent to seek thee. And when they said he is not there, he took an oath of the kingdom and nation, and that they found thee not. And now thou now sayest, go to tell the Lord, behold, Elijah is here. And it come to pass, as soon as I am gone from thee, that the Spirit of the Lord Yahawashi shall carry thee, whither I know not. And so when I come and tell Ahab, and he cannot find thee, he shall slay me. But I, thy servant, fear the Lord from my youth, fear Yahawashi from my youth. Okay. Was it not told, my Lord, what I did when Jezebel slew the prophets of the Lord Yahawashi? So this man Obadiah, he was a great fear of Yahweh Yahawashi. Okay. And I hid, when Jezebel slew the prophets of the Lord, how I hid 100 men of the Lord Yahawashi's prophets by 50 in a cave. Okay, separating them and fed them with bread and water. And now sayest thou, go tell the Lord, behold, Elijah is here, and he shall slay me. And Elijah said, as the Lord of hosts liveth, before whom I stand, I shall surely show myself unto him today. So Obadiah went to meet Ahab, and told him, and Ahab went to meet Elijah. And it came to pass, when Ahab saw Elijah, that Ahab said unto him, art thou he that troubleth Israel? Excuse me. And he answered, I have not troubled Israel, but thou and thy father's house, and that thou hast forsaken the commandments of the Lord Yahawashi, and hast followed after Baalim. Okay, what? Demons. So you had Israelites that were worshipping demons. They were all up in them groves. Excuse me. All up under them trees. Now therefore send and gather to me all Israel unto Mount Carmel, and the prophets of Baal, 450. So there was a lot. There was 450 prophets of Baal. So I want to say this to the true men of the Lord, the true prophets, the true hopeful elect. That's what you're up against. You're up against those that have spirits, unclean spirits in them. Spirits of devils. Right? Unclean spirits. Okay? So it's said that Elijah wanted to gather them up onto Mount Carmel. 450 prophets. Okay? Of Baal. 450 prophets of the groves. 400 which eat at Jezebel's table. Right? So they were eating at the tables of devils. They were not eating the tables of the Lord. And the scripture says that you cannot partake in the tables of devils and sit at the table of the Lord Yahawashi. You can't do that. You have to pick one or the other. Excuse me. So Ahab sent a lot of mucus. And part of that as well because all these impurities that Yahawashi is getting rid of in a physical aspect and in a spiritual aspect. Remember, no leaven. Okay. And so Ahab sent unto the children of Israel and gathered the prophets together unto Mount Carmel. And it's going to tell you what happened. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, How long halt ye between two opinions? Right? So obviously they were a lot of them they were double-minded. Okay, and where the spirit was, because the spirit wasn't dealing with Baal. Okay. If the Lord Yahawashi be, okay, power, follow him. Okay. But if Baal, then follow him. So Elijah was letting it be known, look, you want to follow Baal? Go follow him. But we gonna see, you want to follow the Lord Yahawashi? Okay. Follow him. We gonna see who wins. Then the people, then, bear just a minute. Then follow him. And the people answered him not a word. They were silent. Then said Elijah unto the people, I only remain a prophet of the Lord. I him only. So he was going against what? The grain. And that's what you have to do in this truth. Yeah, it's going to be hard, but you have to go against the grain. You have to go against a majority. Right? That's what Yahawashi wants you to have. That's called having integrity. Right? Baal's prophets are 450 men. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks and let them choose 1 bullock. Okay, which was that sacrifice. for themselves and cut it in pieces, and lay it on the wood and put no fire under. Right? And I will dress the other bullock and lay it on the wood and put no fire under. And call you on the name of your gods, your idols. And I will call on the name of the Lord Yahawah Yahawashi. And the power that answereth by fire, let him be the power. And all the people answered and said, it is well spoken. So in other words, they agreed. And Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, choose you one bullock for yourselves and dress it first. For ye are many. Key thing, I want to stop right there. Ye are many. Many are called, few are chosen. The many, they were going to be in what? On the left hand side. And called on the name of your gods, but put no fire under. Excuse me. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal from morning unto noon. Right? Saying, oh Baal, hear us. But there was no voice. Okay? Nor any that answered. And they leaped upon the altar which was made. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, cry aloud, for he is a power. He is a God. Either is he talking or is he pursuing? Has he gone somewhere? Okay. Or is he on a journey? Or pre-adventure? He sleepeth and must be awaked. Wake him up. And they cried aloud. See, them demons were running rampant in their minds. And cut themselves. You can imagine, they might probably go, ah! You know, you see, you got to get visual with this. They must have been screaming and cutting themselves after what? Their manner with knives. Okay? And lanchets. Okay? So these guys were demonic. So do you mean to tell me these men are not back here today? Okay? It's doing the same odious sacrifices. And with lanchets till the blood gushed out of them. Because it wasn't working, so that's what they had to do. Okay? That's what they resorted to doing, cutting themselves. Doing a blood sacrifice. And blood was pouring out. And it came to pass when midday was past, they prophesied unto the time of the offering, unto the evening sacrifice, that there was neither voice nor answer nor any regarded. And Elijah said unto the people, come near unto me. And the people came near unto him, and he repaired to the altar of the Lord Yahawashi. That was broken down. And Elijah took 12 stones, according to the number of the 12 sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of the Lord came, saying, Israel shall be thy name. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of the Lord Yahawashi. And he made a trench about the altar, as great as wood can contain 2 measures of seed. And he put the wood in order, and cut the bullocks in pieces. Okay? And laid him on the wood, and said, fill 4 barrels with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice, on the wood. And he said, do it the second time. And they did it the second time. And he said, do it the third time. And they did it the third time. And the water ran about the altar, and he filled the trench also with water. And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Lord, power of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, let it be known this day that the Lord our power of Israel, in Israel, that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word. And he didn't say by his own word, at thy word. Okay? Hear me, O Lord Yahawashi, hear me, that this people may know that thou art the Lord Yahawashi, power, and that has turned their heart back again. Then the fire of the Lord Yahawashi fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice. Ultimately, at that particular moment. Okay? And the wood and the stones and the dust licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces. And they said, the Lord Yahawashi, he is the power. The Lord Yahawashi, he is the power. And Elijah said unto them, take the prophets of Baal. That's when that judgment was what proceeded. Let none of them escape. And they took them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook of Kishon and slew them there. And Elijah said unto Ahab, get thee up, eat and drink, for there is a sound of abundance of rain. That rain what? Kept on pouring. There was no more what? Scarcity of rain, water. So Ahab went up to eat and drink, and Elijah went up to the top of Carmel, and he cast himself down upon the earth, put his face between his knees, and said to his servant, go up now, look toward the sea. And he went up and looked and said, there is nothing. And he said, go again 7 times. And it came to pass the 7th time, and he said, behold, there arise a little cloud out of the sea like a man's hand. And he said, go up, saying to Ahab, prepare thy chariot and get thee down, that the rain stop thee not. And it came to pass in the meanwhile the heaven was black with the clouds, and when there was a great rain, and Ahab rode and went to Jezreel. And the hand of the Lord Yahawashi was on Elijah, and he girded up his loin and ran before Ahab the entrance of Jezreel. So there was great things and great miracles that were done by Yahawashi through what? His prophets that he was dealing with on the right hand side. So it shows you, yes, if you're a hopeful member of the elect, you're going to be alone, but Yahawashi is going to be on your side. That's where the power comes from, because you have to go against this society. Okay, you have to. If you don't, then you're not going to be what? Doing Yahawashi's will. Okay, and one more scripture, we shut off. One more scripture. Here we go. This is John 15 and 18. If the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. Okay, so that's just the way it is. Because the world lies in wickedness. The world doesn't want to get right. The world doesn't want Yahawashi to reign. Because people, they have plans. Right? You know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love his own. So the majority, the masses, the prophets of Baal, they're of the world. Therefore the world loves their own. Okay? But because you are not of the world, but because I have chosen you out of the world hateth you. Remember the word that I have said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will also keep your sayings. And you know what's spiritual? Ahab never got put to death. Remember he was saying to Elijah, why do you trouble Israel? So then obviously Ahab, what? He was on Elijah's side. He was spared. Okay, so Yahawashi always shows you who his men are and who his men ain't. Okay, so with this lesson, I hope this is edifying. A bit of a long one, but sometimes it's just the way it is. And until the next time, Shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.